Time to shine. Show that's the kind of state of mind you gotta combine with hard work and time. You gotta climb to the top. Don't let yourself drop till your heart stops. Let this beat rock. Got a new clock and a new stock for this new rock. Just let your mind loose from the new stock. Drunk off the goose, thinking that I'm too pop. Getting caught with a few thoughts cause I'm too lost. Off the speakers can't even handle me. Giving what I got, nobody's gonna drain my energy. And I will never stop, I'm motivated by enemies. Setting up shop so everybody remember me. And no, I am not going through life regretfully. I'd rather work non-stop, what they call incessantly, than work some odd job just to live life pleasantly. Already got lost in my mind, not a fantasy, I'm getting ill. Gotten soul, so stop, drop, and roll. You lost all control and pop off your ball. I got squat, I fall, I'm not bought, I'm sold. My stock rocks, it's gold. Hey, knock, knock, she holding shit, talk to close. I ain't stopping though, it's hip-hop, you know. Or is it rock and roll? I'm not dropping down, no, my pocket's grown. You can't stop the show, so get rockin' on. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never.
We are live with episode 45 of Nemesis. My name is Aldo Shaw. I am joined by the former tag team champion Jay Scott, and we have got an electric night of action for you here tonight. But starting things off, Selena Adams making her way down to the ring. We know she's been away on business to Japan for the past couple weeks, and now I guess we're going to finally get to hear some comments as she has been included in the Nemesis Women's title match, that fatal 4-way at Endgame.
It's been quite a shakeup since she left. I'm very curious as to how she thinks of the current situation.
Here's Scout McKenzie has something to say of her own. We saw Selena Adams. She said that she wasn't the biggest fan of what Scout had to say on her behalf last week.
That's ridiculous. Scout was doing her job as a friend. A friend supports you and gasses you up. You know, Scout was just doing what she could to support her friend Selena, and quite frankly, I don't think Selena's being grateful. I think she should show a little bit more respect to the CWL legend like Scout.
Well, now we've got a hell of a match that just got announced, and I'm hearing that that's going to actually be our main event for tonight. And we haven't even got to the first match yet, and things are already popping off here on Nemesis.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly huge what we've got going on here. A lot of, balls in the air, and I gotta say, I'm pretty disappointed here.
The opening match of Nemesis is set for one fall. Introducing first, George Callop.
And the Genesis standout, George Callop, motorcycling his way to the ring. You don't see a lot of people doing that. Practically the best he calls himself, and he'll have the opportunity to prove it here tonight against another opponent from the Nemesis roster.
Yeah, and George Callop getting the George Callop here to Nemesis from Genesis, and I'm very interested to see what he brings to the table. I'll be completely honest, typically going into these Genesis debuts here on Nemesis Vindication, I have a lot to look off of, but he is shot through the ranks. There's not a lot to go off of this guy, which might prove to be his benefit for whoever his opponent is.
And his opponent, accompanied by Golden Mask, representing Backroom Dealings, weighing 229 pounds, from New York City, Cairo.
Well, we go from the current newest Genesis call-up to someone who was making waves on Genesis when he got called up at Battle Lines, Cairo. And, it's gotta be said, this is sort of like two different eras of Genesis this season going against each other. Because, if my history is correct, George Callop and Cairo were never on Genesis at the same time. Now, we're gonna have to see if Cairo and George Callop, how they, play off each other here and who's gonna come off with the victory.
Absolutely, these two, it's definitely a challenge for George Callop having Cairo as his first opponent, and with Golden Mask at ringside, no less. We know that there's been some interaction between George Callop and Cairo, or pardon me, between George Callop and Golden Mask outside of the ring, and I'm very curious to see how that manifests itself here in this match tonight.
Absolutely, and we know Golden Mask has been, getting attacked in seemingly everywhere and anywhere by Jacob Nitro. He has been a hunted man, and to the point where Jacob Nitro has been suspended from the building for the next couple weeks. So you've got to feel that Golden Mask, he can breathe a little bit easier right now and focus on helping Cairo with this match. But right now, Cairo looks like he could use some help as he's getting the boots put to him by George Callop.
And now, the power of those legs is substantial, but it's almost nothing compared to the thickly, almost absurdly muscled arms of George Callop as he looks to just nail Cairo with those big fists, almost like ham hocks. But the spinning kick here takes him off his feet.
With all due respect, he is quite strong and quite big, but at the same time, Cairo, he looks like he ate George Callop. He is like an entire head above this guy. I think many people, they don't look at Cairo and think he's a big dude, mostly because he, was brought up with Bobby Slam, who is a giant. But you look at Cairo, he's got some meat to him. He's got some thickness. He's got some buff. And right now he's trying to see if he has the stuff as he connects with a Northern Light suplex.
He's a big, meaty man, and he's looking to slap some meat here against George Callop, but George Callop takes him over with that showstopper, just planting the leg across the throat. That is bad for Cairo. He needs all the air he can get, and having his windpipe damaged like that may prove to be the tipping point in this match against the new call-up.
Absolutely. As now, George Callop, though, not making things easy for Cairo, who's had sort of a topsy-turvy ride ever since coming to the Nemesis brand. He's had moments of great success followed by moments of sort of falling down a bit. And it's going to be interesting to see against a completely new element how he fares. As right now, George Callop taking the boots to him, but getting a boot put to himself as Cairo sends him into the corner now. Big running forearm.
Colliding right in the bridge of the nose here, and now connecting with the low super kick. I'm very interested the referee didn't call that one as a disqualification. It seemed like it connected directly with the little collops there.
Well, regardless, referee's discretion, he seemed to think it was fine. But of course, this is the same referee who called a 10 count, but, it is what it is. Cairo, though...
It provided the separation necessary for him to get this, nailing him with the wind-up.
The wind-up, but not going for the end here. Instead, look to go maybe for a DDT there. George Callop able to get over, and you've got to feel the adrenaline coursing through now after that super kick. He knows he's in trouble. He knows he needs to start fighting this one back as the lariat just drops Cairo, nearly taking the head off of him. And that might just be it, but no.
I'm very interested to see what George Callop's next move is here in this match, considering, that lariat, it had a lot of force behind it. He was super surprised when Cairo was able to kick out, but it looks like Cairo's going to do more than kick out as he connects with the Black Bull. That huge stomp to the back of Callop's head. Is this the end? 2, and Cairo gets the victory.
You said you were excited to see what the next move is. We'll just have to wait, I guess, until his next match. But a very strong showing from George Callop, it's got to be said. Cairo was definitely kept on his toes throughout that whole match, and that lariat was nearly enough to do it, but it just was not his night. And now, Cairo, you've got to feel he is riding a hell of a high after that win.
The winner of the match, Cairo.
What a victory here for Cairo, stomping him with that Black Bull, and that is a move that everyone on the Nemesis roster has got to keep their eyes peeled for. This was a big moment for George Callop, staking his claim here on Nemesis, but he was outclassed by Cairo. What a victory.
And you've got to feel that the Backroom Dealings loving that win. And Backroom Dealings maybe looking to, get on the upswing as of late, as they've had some bad luck in the past couple weeks. But now, it appears we are going to be receiving some words from one Brandon Michael Smith.
I mean,
We
look.
know he has that date with Destiny with John Spartacus.
That's true indeed. And remember, at their last clash, he was able to get the better of the Spartan, took him out with the dominance. Do you think that Endgame will go the same way?
I mean, that's the thing, is it going to be the John Spartacus that showed up to Supremacy, or is it going to be the John Spartacus who did the same thing to BMS and dominated him? We have never really seen a competitive match between these two. And it's really going to just come down to what John Spartacus shows up that night, on that night. And BMS says he wants the best John Spartacus is. He wants that man that main evented the very first Endgame, because he didn't get that at Supremacy. Oh, and we see John Spartacus beelining his way to the ring. BMS right on top of him, but Spartacus taking him down. The rights and the lefts being thrown by both men. BMS getting into the top mount here, just raining down the strikes. As
And
now
now
Spartacus is back with a shot of his own.
bouncing off the ropes. and nailing him with that big boot, sending him toppling over the top rope. And he's not done, rolling right out of the ring to continue the beatdown.
He is looking to... If BMS wants the Centurion to vault back, I mean, be careful what you wish for, because this Centurion has been just laying in the beatdown on BMS and now just dragging him up to the stage.
He's got that hold firmly placed on the back of the neck like a dog picking up a puppy.
It's now Spartacus sending BMS to the backstage. We're trying to get camera crew back there right now. As the fight is still going on. These two just trading the strikes back and forth. BMS sent crashing into the Nemesis locker room area.
Absolutely wrecking him through the door. What an impact. And now, once again, just got the hand wrenching on the back of the neck and tossing, looking to toss him into that table. But BMS saw what was coming, firing the elbows right into the gut to get himself out of it. And he's making a dash.
For a man that really wants to see the old Centurion, he doesn't seem to want to stick around once he sees it. As now, speaking of old rivalries reborn, last year, going into Endgame, Harley Quinn was a champion, and Sarah Price had just won the battle for supremacy. Now this year, Harley Quinn going in there the Supremacy Cup winner, and Sarah Price holding the tag titles, a rematch from the Nemesis Women's title match at last year's Endgame. This one is sure to be a heated match.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing 140 pounds, from Pearl River, Mississippi, Harley Quinn.
You can draw any parallels you want, but one thing you have to keep in mind, Harley Quinn currently undefeated in action against Sarah Price. And tonight, I mean, Sarah Price, when was the last time we saw Sarah Price in singles action, Jay Scott? Especially on Nemesis. It's been a while.
It hasn't happened in this calendar year.
And her opponent, weighing 102 pounds, from London, England, Sarah Price.
Sarah Price did the lion's share of the work in the Best Enemies last tag team defense of those championships against the Hunt, and she's going to have to continue that momentum as she storms into this match against Harley Quinn, who has been absolutely dominant since her return.
Absolutely, but at the same time, like you said, Sarah Price has been dominant in her own right. I'm going to be honest, this match could be the Nemesis Women's title match at Endgame again, and I wouldn't look two ways at it. Because these two have shown that they are just as good now as they were last year. However, we know Harley Quinn is apparently planning to go for the openweight title. And Sarah Price, I mean, we know the Best Enemies are going to be dealing with Vanity around that time as well. So they're getting their rematch now.
And locking up, I love to see it. Harley Quinn immediately transitioning into the side headlock and then going straight from there into the key lock, slamming her down, but not keeping the hold applied, of course. That could be immediately transitioned into an Anaconda Vice or a Kimura. But Sarah Price able to take over, nails the dropkick to the back.
You know, you've got to feel Sarah Price has definitely been, working hard on her submission game since last year at Endgame. She won, I believe, their last tag title defense with a submission. You've got to wonder if maybe Harley Quinn might underestimate Sarah Price's ability on the ground as a submission wrestler, and that could be what costs you here tonight. She can't afford to lose this big of a match going into Endgame.
As we're up on the ropes now, I completely agree with you. Momentum is everything, especially going into CWL's biggest event of the year, Endgame. Now looking to get her here, but no! Caught with the lariat. What a maneuver.
Now they're the jawbreaker. These two very evenly matched in the opening bets of this match. But Harley Quinn laying her out with that lariat, but Sarah Price going right back. Again, these two very evenly matched.
I mean, look, what we're looking at here with Harley Quinn is a woman who's basically built like a tank. When Sarah Price nails her with a move, it must feel like, I don't know, like a leaf brushing up against a tree trunk. This is, like, it's such a disparity in terms of strength. But Sarah Price has got to use all of her speed to get out of maneuvers like that. What a shin breaker.
It isn't always necessarily about power, it's about precision, as we see her going for that low kick there to the knee. But yeah, I've got to agree with you, there is definitely a power discrepancy between these two competitors, and Harley Quinn needs to use that to our advantage.
For the pinfall here, but no, Sarah Price showing her tremendous tenacity, able to get out here, but Harley Quinn immediately transitioning into the front face lock. She does not want to give Sarah Price a moment of rest.
Now we see the kicks connecting, and the Kotaro Crusher! That leaping leg drop bulldog to the back of the head, and you know, like you said, she's maybe not as strong or as powerful, but she knows exactly where to pinpoint her damage. And she goes to cover only a 1 count, though.
And now, nailing that kick to the back. Kick to the stomach now. What an impressive series of strikes here from Sarah Price, and that is very much her wheelhouse. As you mentioned before, precision is everything when it comes to Sarah Price, and if she is able to nail one of those picture-perfect happy-ending knee strikes right to the jaw of Harley Quinn, that could very well be the end of this match. But hold on, she's got it wrenched in.
The Royal Stretch locked in. Nowhere for Sarah Price to go. Instead, fighting her way out of it. And there she used some of her lack of size to an advantage to be able to sort of wiggle her way out of it. As now, that's Salena del Sol. That's Sarah del Sol connecting, hooking both of the legs. Only a 1 count though on Harley Quinn. Sarah Price though not letting it deter her. Keeping up the momentum. Keeping up the attack. Got Harley Quinn to her feet. Happy ending knee strike.
Would this be enough to put Queen away? 2. And Sarah Price claims the victory. Harley Quinn now has a blemish on her record going into Endgame.
The revenge, the redemption for last year. Sarah Price putting away Harley Quinn. And if I'm Sheila, that just sort of goes to show Harley Quinn is not unbeatable. She is very beatable. And Sarah Price proved that here tonight. But if you're Vanity, you've got to be worrying just a little bit more.
The winner of the match, Sarah Price.
Sarah Price, she was fighting from underneath for most of that match, but she used her quick wits, her ability to absorb tremendous amounts of damage, and her striking prowess to score the victory over Harley Quinn. That was tremendous. Sarah Price has got it all going on. She proved it when they defended the tag team titles, and she's proved it once again on Nemesis here. This was huge.
Absolutely. And as we see now, Alex Perez apparently just getting finished with a meeting with his... Oh, wait a second. I was going to say meeting with his doctor as TJ Black just tackles him through the table. We know Alex Perez was scheduled for a medical thing today for his leg, but now TJ Black using that as an advantage to attack him when he wasn't ready and just targeting those injured legs.
And look, I don't want to, make any negative comments here about the accommodations in CWL, but that carpeting is less than an inch thick. They really skimped out on the locker room carpeting, so that is basically like having your knees being driven directly into solid concrete. That is incredibly devastating.
It's now just the lariats from TJ Black, and again, he speared him through the table. Alex Perez, who might have very well just been unconscious since that point, and right now he looks like nothing but dead weight as TJ Black maybe looking to make it so he doesn't even make it to Endgame in one piece again, just taking out the knees of Alex Perez.
Driving the knee straight into the concrete floor. This is atrocious punishment that Alex Perez is being forced to suffer through. And now, TJ Black making his escape from the scene of the crime.
We get medical personnel back there to help out Alex Perez. We have to move on as Backroom Dealings in their second match tonight will be going up against Big Match Brian and FJA. And, we know Anarchy Inc., they were supposed to have Jacob Nitro here tonight, but he has been suspended from the building due to the fact that he has been attacking Golden Mask outside of CWL grounds. And now, this could be Backroom Dealings' chance to get a one-up here on Brian and FJA.
The following tag team match is set for one fall. Introducing first, representing Anarchy Inc., weighing 208 pounds, from Dallas, Texas, Brian.
Here he comes, Brian. All four of the men in this match are S-tier athletes. Brian does it better than most. Of course, I have in-ring experience with him. I can tell you from going one-on-one, or being in the ring with him, obviously I wasn't part of a tag team match, but let's gloss over that part of it. Those kicks of his pack a serious punch. Pack a serious kick, you might even say. And so I can tell you that I would not want to be in the shoes of anyone who's going to be across the ring for Brian here tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, need I remind you, Jay, he is the one that walked into last year's Endgame as Nemesis World Champion. He knows what it's like to be at the top, very top of this business, and now he's stepping into the ring with, frankly, two people, Eli Evans and Dave Graves, two people new to the CWL, new to Nemesis. You've got to wonder if that experience is going to play a big factor.
Look, he definitely has that veteran experience. He has the veteran instinct, but the people he's going up against are no slouches. This is going to be an incredible match, no matter which way it ends up.
And his tag team partner, weighing in at 200 pounds, from Buenos Aires, Argentina, FJA.
And here comes FJA down to the ring. But I mentioned how Brian made it to last year's Endgame as Nemesis World Champion. But it was through pinning this man at last year's Jailbreak pay-per-view that he did it. And you've got to wonder, even though they're on the same team, even though the mission is the same, to stop Backroom Dealings, to take them down, is there still that little bit of resentment that's getting brought up due to what time of the year we're at?
You're absolutely right. Look, there's a lot of opportunities. There's not a lot of opportunities here, and there's a lot of superstars who want to claim those very limited slots. Now look, I'm an economist. What we're dealing with here is supply and demand. And these guys, they've got a lot of demand and they've got to work for it.
And their opponent at a combined weight of 464 pounds, Eli Evans, Dave Graves. Backroom Dealings.
Eli Evans and Dave Graves making their way down to the ring. We saw Cairo and Golden Mask make their appearance earlier in the night. Cairo picking up the W against George Callop. Is Eli Evans and Dave Graves going to be able to do the same? Especially considering Eli Evans, many have considered him the breakout star of Backroom Dealings since they've come up. And Dave Graves, someone who's sort of slinked into the background just a little bit.
Dave Graves, he's a workhorse. He's a hard worker. Eli Evans, he's got a lot going on too. There's a lot with these two, and now they seem to be waiting for something. This match should be getting started any second now. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I mean, the music's still playing, but that's supposed to... Why are there lights? Why is there still music and lights? What is going on?
I'm not certain. Maybe, another member of the Backroom Dealings is going to be joining the fray. We know how they like to operate.
But it's a tag match.
Oh
what
my
the
God.
Hell?
Oh my God, that's Aldo Shaw. Aldo Shaw
Dude,
making his way.
What is he doing? What is he doing here? Why is he here? Why is the music still playing?
I don't have the answer to these questions. I'm just doing the best I can, goddammit. Aldo Shaw coming up from Genesis. We're going to get you all the answers as fast as we can, but right now, this has taken us by complete surprise.
Well, but the uninitiated Aldo Shaw, a Genesis roster member, not, as far as I'm aware, not contracted to the Nemesis brand. And he is here tonight, and is he a part of this match? Is this like a triple threat tag match now? Is someone else from Genesis going to show up? What's going on?
Looks like everyone's assembling in their various corners, and it seems like Aldo Shaw is going to be, for tonight only, joining the side of the Backroom Dealings.
What the? I've got producer in my ear trying to tell me that this has been made a handicap match? Who made it a handicap match?
We know how Backroom Dealings likes to operate, and they do it very frequently, taking advantage of their opponents and outnumbering them in the ring. And now Eli Evans and Brown are going one-on-one, and you got to think that Eli Evans is going to want to get Brown back into his corner in order to press the advantage of numbers.
Anarchy was already at a disadvantage because Jacob Nitro, Brian's normal tag team partner, isn't here. He's suspended. And now they've got to go against the 3-on-2 disadvantage that they weren't even prepared for. I'm not even prepared for.
I mean, look, it's certainly something to be surprised by. It is very... I'm taken completely aback. I did not see this coming in any way, shape, or form. But Dave Graves, after being launched like a missile by Eli Evans, is now tangling with Brian here.
Well, Brian, to his credit, not to be underestimated, dropping him on the back of his head. And I've got to be honest, I mean... yeah, it's a disadvantage, but imagine if these two could beat these three men. I mean, I mentioned before, they have the experience advantage at their disposal. But, again, is the experience advantage enough to beat the numbers advantage?
I don't know the answer to that question. I'm very much looking to find out. I have a ton of respect for FJA as a competitor. I've gone one-on-one with him in one of my first matches here in CWL, and he beat me clean as a whistle in the middle of the ring. And the question is, will he be able to implement those same strategies to get the win over not one, not two, but three other competitors here, and able to avoid being on the receiving end of some tag team offense?
Well, right now, FJA and Brian have done a good job of cutting off the ring, keeping it between just these two, and they're going to need to keep doing that if they want to come out with the win here, as they see that tag team offense, but Dave Graves able to push Brian off of him.
These two getting ready to go at it. Irish whip into the corner, perhaps looking for a little bit of that tag team offense. Brian, though, saves himself once again, or saves himself much in the way that FJA did. And look at that, elbow right to the back of the head. He could be knocked clean out after that.
Absolutely he could. I mean, we've seen that Masawa-esque elbow to the back of the head. I mean, I've seen it knock out people in MMA and wrestling, any sort of fight. I saw it knock out someone in catering earlier. But Dave Graves able to keep fighting, and now Brian lifting him up for the Brand Buster.
Brand Buster connects. Could that be the end, or does Brand immediately want to go for something else? Looks for this striking combination. Sweeps the legs.
And now Brian keeping things on his level right now. Went for a Michinoku driver. Dave Graves able to escape out of it. And now Dave Graves sending him into enemy territory here. And this is where things can get bad for Anarchy Inc. As now, setting him up, most devastating move in tag team history. That drop, no, elbow drop.
The elbow connecting directly with the lower spine of Brian. That is going to make it very difficult for him to get that leg strength that he needs to perform moves like the Sixth Sense or the Last Laugh. Both powerful kicks that he likes to employ to finish off matches, but the Tiger Suplex here from Eli Evans making it very difficult for Brian to continue, and as Aldo Shaw swings a hand at him.
But now Brian got the kick to the gut. Sit out powerbomb. knows he can't get the pinfall victory here maybe because of the fact that he's such enemy territory here.
And slamming him down with that inverted DDT. He may not be able to get the pinfall here, but he can certainly deal some damage. Turns it around. What a spinning kick. Looks for the lariat, but Eli Evans, too quick, hangs him up on the middle rope.
As now the knee is being driven into the back of the head of Bryan. Bryan, you see FJA reaching across the ring trying to get that tag, but it's just so far away. And Eli Evans very wisely putting himself between Bryan and FJA, making it impossible for a tag to be made. As he lifts him now up to his feet, up on the shoulders. And it is not looking good for Bryan as he connects with that detonation kick.
Connects with the detonation kick, but Bryan pops right back up to his feet. I think I know he's going to be looking for driven disrespect sooner rather than later, but look at that, driving the knees into the ribs.
And we've still even yet to see Aldo Shaw make his way into the match as Eli Evans now got it hooked up, driven disrespect, driven into the mat, but FJ right there to keep this thing alive.
And it looks like Eli Evans has his sights set on FJA, leaping over the rope and driving him.
Disrespect on the apron!
Spiking him on the apron with that huge DDT.
Now he just needs to come from FJA somehow still able to get to his feet after that DDT on the apron.
Well, that certainly was a huge blow, but we have to remember, FJA hasn't been on the receiving end of much offense in this match so far, but now it's Dave Graves. He's not the biggest competitor, but he packs a huge punch. Will he be able to get the edge over Bryan here? But no, Bryan able to prevent more tag team offense from happening. Perhaps that was going to be Aldo Shaw's first bit of entry into this match.
Went for the knee, misses it in the corner, and now the Luthez press. And you've got to wonder, maybe they're saving Aldo Shaw as a ringer. I mean, maybe they want to see if they can just beat them 2-on-2 like it was supposed to be. And then later on, if they realize they can't, they tag in Aldo Shaw. As the big boot just drops him that huge Yakuza kick.
And now looking to get him here. Oh my God, the big iron clocking him across the jaw. That knockout shot has turned my lights out a couple times. Will it be enough? No, FJA able to break it up. Goes for the discus elbow on Aldo Shaw and now sent to the outside by Dave Graves.
A big right hand takes out FJA. And Dave Graves looking to maybe take him out of the match for good. But instead, trying to stay on the task at hand. Focusing on Bryan. They've got a golden opportunity with FJA down on the outside. But Bryan fighting his way out of it. Shot to the gut. Repeated elbow strikes. Just laying them in there. But the arm drag stopping the flurry. And now the backbreaker connected.
Incredible variance in offense from Dave Graves and Eli Evans back in this match once again. Aldo Shaw still on the outside.
Again, like I said, maybe keeping him as a ringer. A last case scenario to tag in Aldo Shaw. As now though, there we see it. That super kick connecting. Falls into the cover. But Evans able to kick out.
Tremendously impressive there. But Evans still on his feet and nails him with the lariat. Pulls through with the ripcord. How impressive.
It's now almost unwisely setting him into the corner, but the cravat neckbreaker taking down Bryan. And now taking a bit to gloat here is Eli Evans. And you've got to wonder how wise that is, but I mean, he says you have to respect his disrespect, and well, he is quite the disrespectful competitor.
And this time Irish whipping him perhaps more wisely into his own corner, but Bryan gets the knees up in time and is able to stop his forward momentum.
And you've got to feel FJ is bit to get into this match, to get into this ring, as Bryan has been taking so much offense, and a second driven DDT, that driven disrespect, but FJA keeps being right there to bring things up, and now Aldo Shaw getting involved.
With a DDT of his own, Bryan has got to be on his A game here if he wants to survive, and he nails him with the super kick.
But Aldo Shaw right there to break it up. We see Brian get in the face of Dave Graves. Not sure how wise an idea that is. Talking some smack to Backroom Dealings and Aldo Shaw.
I mean, look, it's been tough here for Brian so far. He's been in the ring for what seems like forever. He's been unable to make the tag to FJA, or perhaps he feels like he doesn't want to. But I urge him if he wants to stay alive in this match, to make the tag no matter what. Brian, he's tough as hell, but there's only so much one man can stand.
This connects with the enziguri to the back of the head. And now, got him lifted up once more. Looking for the Brand Buster. But he's not done. Looking to keep up the offense. Walking in. The Rings of Saturn pulls back into it. Eli Evans in the center of the ring. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go for Eli Evans. Brian looking for the submission victory. But Eli trying to roll onto his stomach and watching those elbow strikes.
That was so close, and now Evans here once again nails him with that huge suplex, and it's so momentous it turns him around as well. And now Aldo Shaw in the ring for the first time in this match, just as Brian was able to get the tag to FJA, hooks him up and slams him down with the spine buster.
And now Aldo Shaw, like I said, I think Eli Evans knew FJ was finally going to get in this match, so they're sending in the freshest man in this match. But the super kick may just turn that away. Aldo Shaw just keeps getting right back up. FJ finally able to put him down with the drop kick. As now going up. And we'll see an FJA getting himself set up here. With that big tiger feint kick as he goes up top. Looking to finish it off. Elbow drop misses though.
And Shaw immediately on the ball. How intelligent. Sends him into the corner. What's he looking for here? Oh, an elevated triangle choke. A modified version of the Aussie necktie.
And FJA not doing too hot right now. Aldo Shaw looking to make a big statement here in his debut on Nemesis. As FJA lifts him up. Michinoku driver dropping him. And he might be calling for the end here. Bringing Aldo Shaw up to his feet. Big right hand. Sends him into the corner. Big flying forearm.
FJ, he's got so much in the tank and just nails that standing splash, but will that be enough to put Shaw away? He's still so fresh. Looks like, Backroom Dealings. Oh, that could have been it.
Eli Evans able to break it up. And that would have been it if Backroom Dealings didn't distract the referee. FJA had this match won.
Now sends him to the outside. Was looking to deal a little bit of offense to him there, but Eli Evans able to fire back with that right hand, perhaps giving Shaw some valuable time to recover.
Now, wait a second, Brian taking the fight to Eli Evans there. But Aldo Shaw getting a moment to catch him with that regal cutter.
The Shaw's shank. Shaw's shank connects.
2, 3. And Aldo Shaw picking up a momentous win with that Shaw's shank. But you've got to chalk up the big assist to Eli Evans distracting the ref and whoever the hell made this a handicap match on such short notice.
The winners of the match, the team of Eli Evans, Dave Graves, Aldo Shaw, Backroom Dealings.
Well, it's a match that left me with more questions than answers, but it's a big win for Aldo Shaw. It's a win for the Backroom Dealings. Wait a second, I thought Drake Harrison was regressing at this point. I thought he was doing better. Why is he all scaly again? And we see Raymondo backstage. Raimondo running into that crate there on his attempted escape. Again, more questions than answers here tonight as Drake is... What? Jesse Anderson is now in action, I believe, in her debut match here for the Nemesis brand, going up against Haley Hudson, but this is not the Jesse Anderson that's apparently the same one from Genesis. This is, from what we've heard, a new Jesse Anderson, and I mean, she's gonna have to work to beat Haley Hudson here tonight, but if this is the same Jesse Anderson that's been tormenting people the past few weeks, I'm a bit worried for Haley.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 200 pounds, from London, England, Jesse Anderson.
Jesse Anderson has been interesting, to say the least, since arriving here on the Nemesis brand. She has not made many friends. She attacked, actually, her only friends that she has in Cassidy Clark backstage. And she seems to be egging Callie Kaplan into a fight. But Callie Kaplan seems dead set on believing that there is some good left in Jesse Anderson. I think she's looking to prove here tonight just how bad she can be against Haley Hudson. And like I said, Haley Hudson, hell of a competitor. I'm worried for her health here tonight.
And her opponent, weighing 154 pounds, from Arlington, Texas, the Hammer, Haley Hudson.
Haley Hudson, the bionic cowgirl, she comes down here and she's ready to kick some ass. Unfortunately, I think it might be her who ends up on the receiving end of the boots tonight because Jesse Anderson is all afire. She is ready to just ram through the competition like a bat out of hell, and Haley Hudson is going to suffer the brunt of the impact.
I mean, it's been a 50-50 night so far for debuts. George Callop lost. Aldo Shaw won. Now we get to see Jesse Anderson breaks that rubber match. This is her debut match for the Nemesis brand. You know, is she going to come out the victor?
Definitely a question on everyone's minds here as she's looking just across the ring to her competition here, Jesse Anderson, who has really just not been the woman we're used to seeing.
As now, though, Haley Hudson starting things off in... I mean, here's the thing, though, that you have to keep in mind. 3 straight seasons of losing matches, of never winning a match. It'll make you fired up every match you go into. Jesse Anderson, I'd have to assume, does not want to be the receiving end of Haley Hudson's first ever win. And Haley Hudson would love to get that win at every given point. You gotta feel the pressure is on for both of them.
Absolutely. She's pacing here. She's ready to strike. But Haley Hudson able to roll out of the way. Anderson follows, looks for that kick, but Hudson evades, gets back in the ring. Maybe Hudson was hoping for a count out here.
Well, whatever she was looking for, I'm not sure if it necessarily worked out, as now she's getting the boots put to her in the corner.
Picked up and brought down the hard way. What an impact.
As now Jesse Anderson snapmares Haley Hudson and locking in that chin lock.
Wrenching here firmly on the throat, on the neck. This is rough if you're in the shoes of Haley Hudson. Now Jesse Anderson showing the audience, showing that she's got the tools she needs to get this match in the bag. Hudson looking to surprise her with that elbow strike here. But Anderson picks her up. Hudson slips out of the way again.
And that big slap gets blocked by Anderson, and you've got to wonder if maybe Anderson feels a bit more comfortable on the outside. We've said how she's been acting a lot more unhinged. Maybe in no man's land is where Jessie Anderson finds her peace.
That's very possible, but to make that happen, she's got to get her hands on Haley Hudson first, who has just been as slippery as a fish so far in this match. Look at this, once again, changing the scenery, dashing into the ring instead of outside of it, but Jessie Anderson has had enough, hanging her up on that top rope.
Right for the punch, Jessie Anderson jumps right over it, and now connecting there, driving her face first into the knee, the Star Destroyer, not enough to get the victory though.
It's very true. She's going to have to pull out a slightly better shot than that. She's in the corner. She's got it lined up. What's she going for? Oh my God! Blockbuster connects. Is this it? Could this be the end?
For Haley Hudson, still yet to pick up a win. But Jessie Anderson with a pretty good debut match, if I do say so myself.
The winner of the match, Jessie Anderson.
Jessie Anderson. I mean, we saw her on Genesis. She was fighting for the fans, and now it looks like something has come over her, something dark, something that enabled her to brutalize Haley Hudson like that. I don't know quite what we're going to be seeing out of Jessie Anderson in the next couple of weeks, but we know what we're going to be seeing out of Alex Clark. He is pissed.
Two weeks ago now, I was backstage preparing for my match when out of nowhere I was hitting the back of the chair and then over and over again in the legs, and when I finally flipped over I saw Zach standing over me. Now obviously he doesn't speak, but I could feel his presence. I could feel that he liked doing this. This isn't the old Zach who was there for me constantly and nearly got arrested for attacking other members of the roster for me. This is the new Zach, and the old Zach never would have done this to me. So, I just want to get this off my chest and say, Jay, you know you didn't earn that win. Me and Doc want a rematch. What do you say?
Alex, you might be one of the most delusional people in this company. You know we didn't need Zach to beat you. We did it because we could. So we have no actual reason to accept your challenge. We'd have everything to lose and nothing to gain.
And as always, Jake, you prove that you're a coward. You don't want to give me a rematch, and you turned your back on me earlier in the season. You were never a true friend to me. So, I want this rematch, one way or another. So how about this? Me and Dot get a new team of our own, and we take on you, Matthew, and Zach. What'd you say?
Alex, you know I'm not the type of guy to, fool around and mess with this type of stupidity, but no promises. We'll definitely think about it, because it couldn't hurt to hear you scream in agony one more time. It's not one, but two of your friends watch on. We'll let you know though, Alex, for sure.
Well, we know Alex Clark wants to have a match, and Jake Eagle said he'd take into consideration.
Look, these are two of the top competitors there. Not Warboy Haas, of course, but Alex Clark and Jake Eagle. When they're going to go in any kind of match. You know it's going to deliver. But up next, we have got Alexander and Warboy Haas. Alexander looking to make an emphatic statement going into the Redacted Battle Royal, which he wants to rename the Alexander Battle Royal.
Why is he here? Why? Someone tell me!
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 254 pounds, from New York City, the man known as Alexander.
Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, the former General Nemesis, and now going to be your champion of the Redacted Battle Royal. We have got Alexander storming his way to the ring. He's gonna kick Warboy Haas's ass. He's gonna do it. He's representing the Acolytes.
Huh? I hope you're right. I hope you're right that he just beats the brakes off of this little albino piece of lint on the tip of my shoe. I hope he beats it within an inch of his life and then keeps going.
And his opponent, representing the Warboys, weighing 179 pounds, from Melbourne, Australia, Haas.
Okay, why is he still on the roster, Jay? Why? Tell me, why is Warboy Haas still? He causes nothing but trouble. He's bald, okay? He's got those stupid little goggles on. He does it. He's not a great wrestler. I mean, he's fine when he's with Crom, but that's like 90% Crom's work, okay? Why does he get to be here? And why do I have to watch him? I don't want to.
Your campaign, your tirade against Warboy Haas has made me somewhat sympathetic to him. I gotta say, look, he's out here. The man's trying to earn a living. He's trying to put food on the family for his, Warboy table. Food on the table for his Warboy family, and God damn it, he's just doing his best.
What
It looks like he's gonna get his
food?
ass kicked by.
He's skinny. He's not eating any food. He's probably spending the money on more stupid goggles and some grease to his bald head.
Maybe he's spending the money on feeding impoverished people who can't feed themselves. Ever think of that? Maybe he's a humanitarian.
Yeah, I don't even think he's human, Jay. I think you need to be at least human to be a humanitarian. No, what he is nothing more than a cockroach who keeps coming back to ruin my day and my fun. I was having a good day, Jay. Despite me doing commentary with you, I was having a good day, and now it's ruined.
Insult aside, I think we can both agree that no matter what happens, we both want to see Alexander absolutely wipe the mat with Warboy Haas here tonight. Hopefully, Haas will be able to feed more of those orphans, and Alexander will continue on strong on his way to claiming his rightful place as being able to rename the Endgame Battle Royal to the Alexander Battle Royal. Now, making that huge stomp to the back here, and Warboy Haas following up with this attack on the elbow and the wrist.
Oh, thank God. Thank the Lord. As Warboy Haas is not able to win that match so far. And hopefully, Alexander starts kicking this into high gear here and stops getting the brakes beaten off of him by this little runt child called Warboy Haas. What? Block the Hurricane Rana, please! You could probably just catch him in the power. You're like twice his size!
Well, Warboy Haas proving to be unexpectedly tricky here as he's able to wrench on the shoulder, applying so much torque to that joint, possibly even trying to pop it out of the shoulder, which would be absolutely devastating for Alexander.
I mean, you call him tricky, I just call him a cheater. He cheats all the time. He interferes where he doesn't belong. He attacks people from behind.
How did he cheat here?
Why is he
How
allowed
did
to
he
wear
cheat?
goggles in the ring?
How did he
He's
cheat?
got a giant metal piece of plate in those goggles, and he just needs to headbutt Alexander, or if Alexander punches him, it's going to do extra damage. The referee should stop the match, force him to take them off, and then continue the damn thing.
If the referee inspected them and decided that they were, up to his specifications for acceptable in-ring wear, then that's all you got to say about it. It's not cheating if the referee allows it.
Referee know about anything? What does he know about anything? Ever? What is a referee
He's a
ever been
licensed referee. He's doing his damn job. He's putting food on the table as well. I can't
He
believe I have
doesn't
to.
even have a striped shirt, Jay. That's like key thing. Numero uno of being a referee. You wear a striped shirt, you become a referee. He doesn't have that. And frankly, how do I know that isn't Warboy Prom in some paint? No, don't count it. Stop. No. Oh, thank God.
You're a menace. You're the menace, actually. And quite frankly, you saying
Doing my job.
that referees need to wear striped shirts to be referees, you know what that sounds like to me? Workplace discrimination, but not in
Buster.
getting the Yorktown Facebuster.
Come on, Alexander. Bring it home. 1, 2. That was 3. The ref was slow counting them.
This is atrocious. It's a shambles, and quite
Haircut's
frankly,
atrocious. As now Warboy Haas goes for a kick to the gut, and hopefully Alexander able to put away here, kick to the gut of his own, and there we see it, the revolution connecting. But we see he landed weird on his leg there. That just menace Warboy Haas forcing himself down to the knee. Hopefully Alexander's okay as he goes into the cover. 2. Dang it! No.
nails the kick. Here we go! Absolutely devastating straitjacket backstabber. Gets him up, but hold on. Arm breaker. Alexander immediately following up by getting him up on the shoulders and planting him with that driver.
No. Oh, thank God. Alexander able to kick out with that roll-up attempt. As now, powerbomb position. Not again. Roll up. Referee, don't you count it? Okay, thank God. No. Stop it. Stop with the roll-ups. Okay, thank God.
This is extremely intelligent, extremely tactical here from Haas. And look at that, another one of those straitjacket backstabbers applied.
Underhanded. He knows he can't beat Alexander in a proper wrestling match, so he's got to try and sneak out a win. And now, referee, got to count to 5. He's not supposed to be up there for more than a 5 count. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ring the bell. Disqualification.
Of course, it is all up to the referee's discretion here as Alexander meets him in the middle of the ring and hold on, looks for the roll-up himself. 1, 2. Doesn't get it done. Haas just too capable, too intelligent, too powerful to be caught with a maneuver like that.
And now we see the absolute expert of ring psychology here. Alexander going up top. Picture perfect corkscrew moonsault.
But Haas shrugs it off. Haas is back to his feet. He is he's just eating up so much punishment. That is incredible.
Hurricanrana blocked by Alexander because he's just so good at the wrestling. As now, though, dodges the lariat. Alexander taking a moment to breathe.
Just celebrating to the crowd here. Gets him with the boot. And now coming over the top. Guillotine leg drop across the back of the head.
As now looking to finally put this little albino, bald, goggles, stupid wearing person away. Revolution, center of the ring, capitalizes immediately. This is it. Why?
That was incredible work there from Warboy Haas. What an intelligent, how resilient.
From Warboy Haas. How resilient. He should have just stayed down.
I'm doing my job over here, all right? I get paid to wrestle, and I get paid to commentate matches. So I am doing what I need to do. I'm going to ask you the same question here. Warboy Haas looking to get him to the top rope. He is doing whatever he can to put Alexander away.
As now they go up top. Big splash connecting to Alexander. Into the cover. As Alexander able to kick out of that splash there by Warboy Haas. And now he double legs him. Looking to pick him up.
You know, that double leg takedown is just such an effective maneuver. No matter what match it's in, it's always so great. I love a little bit of classic wrestling offense. And look, Warboy Haas has found that straightjacket backstabber to just be so excellent, so effective, and he keeps going back to the well for it. But if Alexander isn't able to counter it, there's no reason why he shouldn't keep going for it. This is really excellent from Warboy Haas. He's going for what he knows works, and Alexander is doing the same in his part. This is the kind of wrestling match that you go to, you know, that you pay good money to see. What we are delivering here is an absolute classic, and Warboy Haas nails him with the Swanton Bomb. Could this be enough to put Alexander away? But no, gets the shoulder up.
Alexander defiantly gets the shoulder up off the mat. As now, shoulder tackle sends Warboy Haas down to the mat here. Alexander trying to pick his moment. Powerbomb position here for Alexander. Buckle bomb connects.
Running buckle bomb, colliding intensely there, and now following up with that Yorktown facebuster, lifting Haas up and planting him down.
And that should be it, the Yorktown facebuster. At this point, I don't know how he keeps getting up. Like, any competitor I'd be asking this question, how does he keep surviving? As a third and possibly fatal Revolution connects. Is that finally enough to put Warboy Haas down? And it is.
Incredible work from both these competitors. What a match. Huge win there from Alexander.
The winner of the match, the man known as Alexander.
As Alexander picks up a major win here, he's looking to go into that redacted battle royal, make the Alexander battle royal. Of course, we know Johnny Gemini has staked his claim to also being in that match. Who knows what's going to happen when we go to Endgame, but I'm sure Alexander, he's got to be now laser focused on that match. Speaking of Endgame, here's the man with the golden ticket. The man who, he can challenge for any title he wants now at Endgame. But you know, we crowned a number one contender for the Vindication title, Vindication. Maybe he's just going to make it a triple threat. He has that power.
He does indeed, but I don't want to hear it, quite frankly.
You know what, I have to be honest, I've been feeling pretty good lately. First off, I want to thank Johnny Gemini for his help in that tag match on the Go Home trip for Jailbreak. I consider the man a friend, and I don't have a lot of those in this industry, I can tell you that. But that's not exactly what this is about. This is about me announcing which title I'm going to go for at Endgame now that I've got the Battle for Supremacy shot, and of course it's the Nemesis Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I'm on Nemesis, and I really don't like Starjammer LLC, but more on that later. So, Rodrigo Del Garza. I will admit, I don't know you too well. You're tough, you can hit hard, you can tie people in knots, but that's about all I know about you. Oh, and also you're a part of Starjammer LLC, which is excusable. And I've beaten 2 members of your little ragtag group of douchebags already. And at endgame, I'm going to add a 3rd victim to the list. See, coming in Game 4 in Mexico, I'm going to get my first win at endgame. I'm going to win that title back, and I'm going to have both middle fingers aimed right at you as I'm doing it. So Roddy boy, keep your eyes peeled.
Are you kidding me with this? Are you serious? You want a match against the greatest professional wrestler on the planet, Rodrigo Dogaiso? You, my dentally challenged friend, are a glutton for punishment. It's not enough that you were put down by Alex Perez. It's not enough that you couldn't get it done in the battle for supremacy. You had to rip an opportunity away from someone who actually earned it to fuel your hopeless quest for gold. You know what you remind me of, Mr. Gates? You remind me of a rabid dog. A dog that keeps nipping at people's heels no matter how many times it gets kicked. You know how you stop a dog like that, Mr. Gates? You take it out back, and you put it down. I'm glad that you chose Rodrigo to be the one to finally finish you, because at Endgame, we'll get the chance to show everyone it doesn't matter if you're a legend, it doesn't matter if you're a Triple Crown champion, you're just fuel for the Starjammer LLC engine. But hey, it's still a while until Endgame, and I'm sure you're itching to get in the ring with somebody. Mr. Gates, I have to be honest, I'm not satisfied with how our first encounter ended. So before you take on the greatest wrestler in the world at Endgame, I've taken the liberty of setting you up for a match against the greatest manager in the world next week. That's right, Connor. Next week on Nemesis, it's going to be you and me running it back. See you then.
Well, we have learned multiple things here. Connor Gates will be facing Rodrigo at Endgame for the Nemesis World title. He's made his decision. And also you will be facing him next week.
That is right. I am giving the CWLUniverse 2 exclusive opportunities to watch Connor Gates get his ass kicked. Next week is going to be the first, and Endgame is going to be the second. I hope everyone's excited because it is going to be a bloodbath. And speaking of a chaotic, intense bloodbath, we have got a hell of a tag team match coming up next. Selena Adams, Scout McKenzie going 2-on-2 versus Jada King and Sheila, 2 champions here on Nemesis.
I mean, Jada got to choose whoever partner she wanted, and I mean, regardless of if you like Sheila, there's not many better people to pick as a tag partner than Sheila. And this is going to be very interesting. Champions versus contenders, essentially.
The following tag team match is the main event of Nemesis and is set for 1 fall. Introducing first, weighing 140 pounds, from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Selena Adams.
Selena Adams making her way down to the ring, and she is someone who has sort of found herself in an interesting spot, as if you remember back just after Supremacy, she cashed in her Gold in the Bank briefcase but was screwed out of it by Alex Mercer. Now, she doesn't get a one-on-one shot. She has to go into a fatal 4-way match at Endgame, and she has to face 2 of her best friends in Scout McKenzie and Cassidy Clark in that match. You've got to feel there's a lot of thoughts and emotions going through the head of Selena Adams right now.
She is determined. She's focused. She's ready to do some damage here tonight.
And her tag team partner, weighing 164 pounds, from Manila, Philippines, Scout McKenzie.
Scout McKenzie making her way down to the ring here. She is looking to tie some people in knots and just absolutely wreck them. And look, she's been a fantastic friend to Selena Adams. And I gotta be honest, I think Selena Adams is not really holding up her end of that friendship at the moment.
I mean, Scout McKenzie, I agree with something. She has been trying to be a good friend to Selena Adams. I mean, who knows, maybe she got that match with Jada King so that Selena could cash in. She has been trying to get Selena back into the title picture, but I'm not sure if Selena necessarily agrees with Scout trying to force her other friend out of that picture to make room for her.
Look, I think you're looking at this a little bit too narrow-minded, all right? When you're someone's friend, you have an obligation. You have an obligation to look out for their best interests, even if they're not necessarily doing it themselves. Selena is too small-minded to appreciate what Scout is doing for her here.
You know, that is a way to look at it, that she is being too small-minded and that she's just trying to do what's right for a friend. And maybe she does believe she's doing right for a friend, but she also needs to think, if Selena Adams doesn't want this, maybe she just shouldn't do it.
And their opponents, weighing 185 pounds, from Harlem, New York, your Nemesis Women's Champion, the Queen of Harlem, Jada King.
The Queen of Harlem, and for all intents and purposes, the Queen of Nemesis. Jada King making her way down to the ring now, and she has had a death grip on that title for quite a while at this point. No one's been able to unseat her. But it has to be noted, even though technically it was a third defense against Selena Adams, it does not get her a rematch due to the fact that she defended by countout.
That is definitely a big wrinkle in the situation, and I completely agree with you. She has been an incredibly dominant champion, and she's going to have to be as dominant as she can, considering she's going into a fatal four-way at Endgame.
And her tag team partner, weighing 254 pounds, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, your open weights champion, Sheila.
She's a monster. She's a beast. She's an open weight champion. What more can you say about Sheila as she walks down to the ring, her eyes locked on the two targets that she intends to pick apart in the main event of Nemesis tonight? Sheila, we know she's going to be going one-on-one against her next challenger, of course, at Endgame, and that's going to be Holly Queen.
Absolutely it will be, and, you know, it's gotta be said that, say what you will about Sheila, she's dominant, she's monstrous, she's scary, she's evil, whatever you want to say, you can't deny she's a fighting champion. She won that title at the Nemesis Super Show, and just 7 days later, she defended against Sarah LeBlanc. And now 7 days after that, she is here in this tag match against two of the best on the Nemesis brand, arguably two of the best in the CWL period. She has been firing on all cylinders as of late.
Absolutely. Now sending her into the corner. I was thinking maybe going for an early tag there, but Jada King is looking to pick apart Selena Adams in her usual fashion. Got the arm down. And these vicious stomps to the fingers. That is incredibly painful and incredibly damaging, considering Selena needs as much of that grip strength that she can to secure the Selena Sunset, which is the move that she normally uses to get her victories.
And we see her, though, Selena targeting the leg, and this time not by doing just a standard, like, ankle pick or anything like that, just throwing her body full force into the knee of Jada King. And Jada not taking too kindly to that. Forgetting all the technical wrestling stuff, she's just going to trip Selena up and punch her.
Now here, just wrenching on the head and face. Sending her sprawling. Definitely with the early advantage. The early advantage of this match certainly goes to Jada King. And the question is, will she be able to maintain that offense against two veterans like Adams and McKenzie?
And speaking of McKenzie, she beat Jada King in her first match back, but it was a submission match. Maybe not the most, proper match for Jada King to be represented in. She is not necessarily a submission specialist, all things considered. So
yeah, well,
you've got to wonder what it's going to be like now that it's a standard match.
Indeed, and I was going to say she certainly seems to be certainly seems to be an expert in getting folded in half with these German suplexes, as Scout has just been firing on all cylinders, but now able to make the tag is Jada King. Sheila, the openweight champion, is now in the ring with Scout McKenzie, and could this be a little bit of a premonition for a future match that we might see down the line?
I would love that, honestly. Scout McKenzie, I mean, she's obviously, I'm not sure if she's as monstrous as Sheila, but she's a relatively tall or big woman compared to some of the Nemesis roster. You've got to feel that she might be someone who might be able to match Sheila in height, as she's only a couple inches shorter than her.
Look, you can't say that about a lot of women on the Nemesis roster, but Scout McKenzie is certainly one of that select few, as now she's able to escape that rear headlock by firing the elbows right into the sternum of Sheila, and has now got her locked up here, and what a moonsault kick! And follows up with another hesitation drop kick.
This is now Scout McKenzie stalking the prey that is Sheila, which is not a phrase many people say in regards to Sheila, that she is the prey. Often she is known as the predator, and she is now sending Scout McKenzie into the corner here. And we know that Jada King and Sheila once were both managed by Alex Mercer. And now we see that little grouping is still sort of showing here.
Still paying off indeed, as both of these women have gold around their waist and are certainly showing how they got to achieve it through their dominant performances. And what a gut-wrench suplex here, absolutely spiking Scout McKenzie onto the canvas.
As now Scout McKenzie, big clothesline drops Jada King. And now picking her up. Got the front chance here, probably looking to make a tag over to Selena Adams. No, just resting her on those ropes there. What you got in mind? Oh, wait a second, I think I know! The docking scene from Interstellar! An explosive crusher there.
I mean, it was certainly huge. I gotta admit, I've never seen her hit that move in live action before. I've only seen it on CWL replay since before I got here. And now here we go, sending her into the corner. Looking to fire up with that dropkick once again, but able to avoid it was Jada King. But now lifting her up with the military press slam immediately into the knees.
That knocked the wind out of me. Imagine what it did to Scout McKenzie. As now, though, she's able to get to her feet. And this is not what Jada King wants to be. She does not want to be on her stomach when she's in the ring with Scout McKenzie, because that puts her in a perfect position to get caught in those Saturn's Wife has matching rings.
Absolutely, she is in prime position to be dismantled here, as Scout just levels her with that suplex, tossing her all the way across the ring.
And we have seen Jada King be a very dominant champion, but Scout McKenzie just seems to have her number here as she lifts her up onto her shoulders. Look to get a set up for the Red Eclipse. Oh, Jesus! Sheila's just taking out the referee!
Just absolutely clobbered the referees in the back of the head with that double axe handle, and now once again folding King in half with that German suplex.
Might I add, not even trying to break up the pinfall, went straight for the referee. That's how Sheila operates, and she is not leaving this ring until everyone is down.
And now starting to get his faculties back together. The referee is on his feet. Selena Adams, of course, nowhere to be seen after getting nailed by that apron DDT, or rope hung DDT, I should say, from Sheila.
As now sitting in here on this almost Indian deathlock of sorts, but the punch right to the face gets her out of it. As now the Jada King sends it into the corner. Goes for the big kick again, but not quite able to get it. Springboard! Jada King ducks under it, though.
She was, a lot of stuff was went for that military press, and then Scout went for that springboard DDT, but hold on here. Oh my God, there she has it. Absolutely nailing her with the Harlem Heartache.
And Jada King pins Scout McKenzie, getting her win back. But of course, we know you gotta chuck up a big assist to Sheila's. Wait a second here. Jada King attacking Selena Adams as she was getting back in the ring. But Scout McKenzie taking the fight to Jada King as Sheila appears to have left. She's done with her business. Scout McKenzie now connected with that big drop kick as Cassidy Clark coming down the ring. We know she has her differences with Scout McKenzie. Knocking on top rope, but she got a mind here. Jumping cutter from the springboard.
That was huge. A leaping cutter taking her all the way off that top turnbuckle. Jada King starting to recover.
As
Cassidy
now
looks like
Cassidy
she's setting up for something.
looking to call Scout McKenzie to her feet. Oh, but wait a second. You've seen Adams getting in the way of Cassidy Clark. And it looks like she's just trying to get her friend out of there. She doesn't want to see Cassidy Clark attack Scout McKenzie anymore as she gets Scout McKenzie out of dodge. And we see her drawing the line in the sand saying, Cassidy Clark wants to get to... Wait a second! Jada King! I think Jada King was looking to knock out Cassidy Clark with the title. Belina took the bullet. And now it's Cassidy Clark holding that title. And is this going to be a premonition of what we'll see in Mexico City at Endgame? Hey, Chairman, you said you wanted to see me?
Yes, Tommy. Listen, I know you have a certain level of power as Nemesis general manager, and while I respect it, as chairman of the company, I have to step in.
What are you getting at here?
I will not allow you to compete at Endgame.
This is why you made me general manager, isn't it? Because you didn't ever want me to get back in the ring. You always hated me as a competitor.
Tommy, this has nothing to do with you as a competitor. It's your health. Look at you. You can't see out of one eye. Doctors have said your spine could give out if any damage is done to it. And yet, you want to fight Chris Princess. I'm sorry, but it's not happening. I'm not having Nemesis lose its general manager because of a match that I cleared to happen.
Then don't clear the match to happen. Just give us a referee, keep the lights on, and we'll go out there and put on the show.
Fine. You get your match at Endgame. But let the record show that both the chairman of the company and CWL medical staff are not sanctioning it. And as far as the record books will show, it will be like it never happened.
Oh, but trust me, it will happen.